Recently, I was out at the theater with a friend, and over the course of the conversation, I brought up a topic, kind of like a slip of the tongue, that really wasn't.
You?
Yeah. That was very uncomfortable, but for me, not for her.
Came back to bite you in the ass, huh?
Oh, in a big way. And I found myself really not knowing what to do next. I had introduced a topic that I had been journaling about and working with in my own consciousness. I had developed enough words that I could at least express the discomfort that I was having with a particular area of my life, but I hadn't gone any farther. So I could say the A really bothers me, or it's an issue in my life, or I'm coming to understand that that's a problem that I have to deal with. And she asked me a question. I had no clue where to go with that because I hadn't really formulated any further. Now I could have either backpedaled and denied that I said it or changed the topic, but I'm really proud that I am able to and was in that situation say, I really don't know yet. I haven't gone there. I just know that that's an issue. This is an issue. And it kept me. I didn't go into an old fixed action pattern of explain it, deny it, change it, or lie about it. Oh, you misunderstood. No, this is real. This is my reality, and I now have the opportunity to go that one step further, but with myself first. And there's no urgency there because this person is going to be in my life for a while.
Nice. Congratulations for that. The option that you would have had to, as you were saying, to lie or to change the topic or whatever, would have been falling back into that old aggressive male,
yes.
Correct? So what we're looking at there is what would have been the catalyst for you in that situation that would have sent you back to an old fixed action discomfort.
Yeah. There was an immediate feeling that hadn't been really translated into words yet of discomfort. And oh my, she's asking questions that I don't have answers for, so I'm going to look stupid. And this is about my life, so I really should be the authority. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not. I mean, anybody who is on their path and who is evolving has given up the idea of authority. There is no ultimate answer, because that's all authority means. Mm-hmm. What we're all learning is to be ourselves and, with time, learn to express, not explain, that self. But there are going to be so many places as we evolve into areas that have been prohibited, just ignored or avoided, that I really don't know what that next step is going to be. And instead of turning to an authority or a book or somebody to say, what do I do next? I'm courageous enough to look inside and say, right now I don't know that next step. And be honest about it. Admit that. That's an intimate statement. So I'm not only proving myself or showing myself, because proof is not a good word there, as being a trustworthy person, I'm also allowing you to be somebody that I trust, that you're not going to pressure me, push me, because we've all had those experiences. Feeling as if I don't have the answer, you'll try to fix it. But in an intimate relationship, there's already that understanding that I don't need to be fixed and I'm not asking to be fixed. You know, I'm so happy that you're there for me. I'm so happy that you allow me this venue, this platform that I can work out being me in. But you're not going to try to fix me. And if you have an opinion, you'll share it with me, but with no expectation, because nobody knows what's right for me. And as we learned as children that an authority always knew what was right, so too do we have to unlearn that shame involved with not having the right answer. Because there is no right answer. I'm making it up as I go. And that's not a bad thing. I'm making up my life. My daughter gave me a t-shirt, years ago. And it says, I make stuff up. And I really believe that. I'm making up my life. I'm making up in the sense of I'm making up for all the years I've lost. I'm making up for all the things that I did to please someone else and learning how to do it for myself. And in that process, I'm also making up my life. I'm creating something new. I'm creating something that has never existed before. I'm creating something that it will work for me. not to exclude anyone else, but also not to be excluded from my life because it's not going to please someone else. And the more I'm in relationship with people who don't want to be pleased and who are just happy to be around me, and that's not an ego-based thing, that's just, there are people in this 6.7 billion people world that are just going to like being around you because that's all they want to. It's just someone to be there, be around, play with, have fun with.
No judgment.
No judgment. Really good discussions. There's nothing in this world for me that is any more pleasing than to just sit with somebody and just discuss new thoughts, new ideas, because they challenge some of the old beliefs and structures, and they're going to be uncomfortable. For sure they're going to be uncomfortable, because if you introduce something that is foreign to me, well, I don't have any neurosynaptic pathways to make those links, but I'm willing to hear. And in that type of relationship, that's really what matters, that there's a willingness to both share and accept, not judge, not criticize, just to be there and to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to change, I'm going to change, my thoughts are going to change, my behaviors, my beliefs are going to change. It's who lives inside of that core, in me, in you, that I can appreciate and value. And I can also appreciate from my own set of experiences how the struggle has affected my life to become myself, and a willingness to allow someone else to struggle even though it's uncomfortable for me, because they need to find their way too. And I do not know what it is. And equally you don't know. But it's okay if we just walk side by side, and sometimes there's a gulf between us, and we're yelling over that gulf, but we know that at some point, that's still you, this is still me, and we may not converge, but that's okay.
And it's respectful to let them struggle.
Yes.
If we could be in a supportive role.
Yeah.
That was a hard one for me, to watch people I love struggle and know that they need to struggle to get to where they will learn whatever it is that they came here to learn.
Well,
when you're used to fixing and...
You know, it may be a cliche, but there is that image of the person coming across the butterfly trying to get out of the cocoon and think they're helping by breaking the cocoon over, but they've paralyzed the butterfly. Because that struggle is what strengthens the muscles of the wings, and then the wings, without that struggle, never learn to never develop in a way that allows that flight.
Oh, nice. I've never heard that analogy before.
And often I see our fixing and our trying to help as really inhibiting or limiting that other person's ability to engage in their life, because I don't know what you're struggling with. And the reality is, the vast majority of time, I don't know what I'm struggling with. I just know that this is not comfortable. Now, if it's not comfortable, if it doesn't feel comfortable, we're going to look at the element of fire. Positive fire allows for clarity, comfort, and pleasure. Pleasure being defined as having what I want. You know, Kel, and everybody, the vast majority of time in my life, I don't know what I want. I'm just displeased or dissatisfied with where I am. Now, if I try to control where I am, then that's my focus, and I never really get to the place, okay, what do I want instead? So if I am feeling uncomfortable, I can also go to negative fire, which is fear, control, and obsession. Anytime I find myself in a controlling mindset, which happens regularly, I know there's a tool I can use, and that is immediately, to the best of my ability, step back and develop clarity. What's really going on? That clarity, in turn, displaces the pessimism. It's not going right, it's not going to be what I want. Even if it's an internal voice or a subconscious voice, that discomfort is an indication something's not right. Okay, but by stepping back and taking a reality check, I'll be able to identify one small detail, or maybe two or three, that are not comfortable for me. But as a right hemisphered person, I'm a big picture person. We all are. By stepping back, I can see the whole picture and see, okay, that's just those three details that I can work with. And instead of them becoming the thing that I'm totally focused on and lose sight of what my reality is, now I can, okay, I'm comfortable with you as a person. I know you as a person. These details are really not what creates our relationship. So I can now deal with one at a time those details without losing sight of what's really happening here. And what's really happening here in a relationship where there is trust is you're giving me the opportunity to struggle. I may have gone into victim mode. and I'm looking for you to be my hero, and you're refusing to do it. That's an act of love, really.
A little challenging at times, but I